And a crowd of 8,511 at the sports ground saw one of the best rugby league games of the year, and not a try was scored in Balmain's 7-6 victory over a very courageous Eastern Suburbs team who gave 110%. The football was at times ferocious, but when all the dust had settled for a mightily fought battle, it was the lowly field goal from Englishman Gary Schofield which supplied the difference after 3 penalty goals each. You must have been very happy to get out of this one, Benny.
Yes, it certainly was one we had to win because to keep us up in the #1 position, and you know, it was very close. It could have been
They
anybody.
bustled you into all sorts of errors. It was an uncharacteristic Balmain performance. To your team's credit, they fought back and you've won it and you've taken the points. But I haven't seen Balmain put under so much pressure this year.
No, well, East had everything to lose yesterday, and they just gave their all yesterday, 110%, as you said earlier. They just gave everything into the last minute too, and you know, we were very lucky, as you said, to get out of jail. Even with the Simpkins off the field, you couldn't score a try. No, they were really keen. They were really bustling us in defence, and you know, side hasn't done that against us for a while, and you know, it really proved dividends for them. We'll have a look at that little incident later on, because it looked as though to me that could have been a try. But here's a collector's item. I haven't seen this before this year. Gary Jack failing to take a bomb. Not only did he fail to take it, he failed to touch it. And it was quite extraordinary, and McGagan could have actually scored 2 tries. But that, to his credit, referee Stone, that was a good decision, because Tessman, and we'll show that incident later, comes up with a bad shepherd there. Filipina, well, he was like New Zealand, wasn't he? Yeah, he's playing his test football style at the moment, and you know, when Olsen's firing, I think Eastern Suburbs are firing. Well, you've got a lot to be thankful to young Scott Gale for yesterday, although he could have been sin-binned once for kicking the ball out of play there. I thought he had his foot raised. The referees have been a little bit inconsistent with the sin-binning. I was very unhappy about last week when Gary Jack held down Davis in the Manly Balmain game. I thought he should have been sin-binned. I've seen other players sin-binned for the same thing. I'm not asking you for a comment on that. You're not going to bag your own players. Benny, you got very involved in a lot of open running late in this game. Yeah, it seemed to open up a little bit towards the end of the game. I think it was because it was played at such a hectic pace. There were some little gaps to be opened up here and there, and sort of you had to take advantage of the situation. Now, was there any truth in the rumour that field goal wasn't set up for Schofield? It was set up for Gale. Scotty Gale, yeah. Scotty's called the ball, and Scully's just, you know, thought he could do it, so he did. Okay, look at this incident again. You see Worth, the fullback. They changed the camera shot on us here, and it's very difficult, but I think that pass was okay, and I'd be, if I were an Eastern Suburbs player, I'd be very disappointed about that ruling. The next one I want to show you is Jack missing the bomb, because that was McGagan, the New Zealand forward, Eastern Suburbs forward, going through there, and it's McGagan here only 5 minutes later, so he's really missed the possibility of 2 tries in the space of 6 minutes. Look how close he goes, and Conlon's hands there just to bang it over the dead ball line. And the third one, this was a good decision by referee Stone, and it brought a howl of scream of abuse from the Eastern Suburbs officials I was sitting with. But if you look closely at the incident, you're going to find that Tessman, number 11, severely interferes with 2 players. Bridge is one and Conlon is the other, on the runaround. Now, just watch it. The play goes out to Bell. There he goes. Tessman goes in and takes Bridge out of the play. Conlon appeals to the referee, quite rightly, and that was a classic example of a shepherd that might have got away, but it was a good bit of refereeing. So, apart from what I thought was one very bad one with the McGagan pass from Worth, he did the right thing on that occasion, so maybe they balance each other out. Yeah, I think they even up a bit now. OK, mate, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with a bit more, so don't go away.